can't answer to क्या चल रहा है.
So how's it going? How's today?
All good man, all good. This is everything is chill except the weather.
Except the weather. Too hot आजकल.
Yeah, not chill. That's what I meant.
Yes. Okay then. ठीक है. Why did you decide to stand for PhD representative?
That's a good question. Do I keep this bottle?
Yeah, I think.
Nah, I don't want it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, basically, this is a new experience for me. Going away from home, coming to a new city. Never been out of home before. Till my masters. As soon as I came here, the people were so cool. They were so loving, so respectful. I loved being here. So yeah, the past couple of years I spent doing things, being with them, interacting with them, and I learned few things about the campus, about how things work over here. And so now I decided that yeah, with all this experience, it's time to give back the love I have gotten from the people. So I decided to stand for the PhD rep.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go through your agenda point by point, ask
Yeah.
some questions.
Sure.
ठीक है. So first thing you mentioned is transparency.
Yeah.
And admin dialogues. So my question was, which meets are you talking about with the dean or director?
Which what?
Which meets?
Which meets?
Is there like some regular meets that you have, or are you talking about in general any meet?
Yeah. I'm talking about in general any meeting I have. Like PhD scholars have a. So as I'm studying for the PhD rep, I'll talk about those problems. Yeah, there are a lot of issues and a lot of communication gaps between the PhDs and the administration.
Okay.
And I believe how things work over here are if we ask for something, there's a yes or a no from the administration.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, should not be the case. Things should be discussed in detail. If it's a yes, good thing. If it's a no, why is it a no?
Okay.
That helps mitigate the frustration of people. Even if the law does not work in their favor, they'll understand that it was important, or it was
There were other reasons.
yeah, there were other reasons behind it. Otherwise, if that's not clear, it just causes frustration.
Okay. Okay. And like this was not made clear before, whenever previously decisions were taken.
Yeah, no, not really. The dialogues were mostly very vague.
Okay.
I want to bridge that gap.
Right. So I think as a PhD rep, you'd have a lot of meets with dean and director very frequently, right?
I hope so,
yeah. So will you be publishing this discussion every time you meet, or is it like every once a week, twice a week, once in 2 weeks, or?
Yeah, whenever I meet the administration, I'd like to publish whatever happened over there. In short, of course, long scripts nobody wants to read.
Yeah.
So in short, maybe give them like a minutes of the meeting thing and call it a day.
Okay. Right. Then I think we'll go to digital criticism box. Right.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So as the name suggests, quite simple. I want that there exists a platform where people can go publish their complaints, just like how we have it for the hostels, right? We have a website, we can lodge complaints, things gets solved. I want the process to be that simple for putting up complaints also. They should not have to come up to me or go to the administration, the PhD scholars. They can just have a website or maybe an app, something where they can just lodge complaints.
So I think making a website or an app is a big thing. Have you talked to someone about it?
Yeah, not really. It's just an idea right now. The first point, of course, will be to talk to people. Yeah, but not done yet.
I mean, I think you could do it with a Google form.
Right, a Google form also works. That's correct.
Yeah. So then we wouldn't have to build something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Right. Then we can, I think, go to establishing departmental communication norms.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain something?
Sure, yeah. So if you go through my SOP, you will find that my agenda states a lot of problems, but my SOP, I say that all these problems arise from two major, big issues. One is the fragmented mindset of the scholars, where we like to look at issues individually rather than as a community. Everyone likes to think about their own personal profits and losses.
Right.
And nobody wants to come together to solve an issue.
Yeah.
So to mitigate that problem, I want to establish a point of contact in each department, like a
Right.
PhD scholar in maths department, a PhD scholar in chemistry department, who knows that department very well, who can connect to people in his or her own department, and that way I can reach every one of them,
Right.
and then maybe we can act as a community.
Right. So then my question is, I have seen not a lot of people stand up for PRs, right?
PORs,
Positions of responsibility,
yeah, okay.
right? Even this time we're having elections, there is only one candidate for each post, right? Have you talked to anyone ki they'll become a volunteer for their own department?
Yeah, so I believe the one best thing I have done in the past couple of years of being present in the campus is making a lot of friends.
Okay.
A lot of friends from each and every department. I belong to physics department, but that has not restricted me in making connections with other people.
Okay.
I meet people in the gym, I meet people on the playground, I meet people everywhere.
Right.
I make friends, and I'm pretty sure those guys will stand up when I need them.
Okay.
So yeah, that way I can establish a point of contact in each department.
Okay. That's good then. I think then I'll go to this no vehicles rule.
Haha.
Yes. I think I've seen people use vehicles, PhDs.
Lots. So the way you might not be aware of it, but the vehicles were allowed for PhDs. But last year, 2025, since January, any PhD scholar who joined the campus was made to sign a pact which says that they're not allowed to bring any vehicles inside the campus.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know why that restriction should be on a PhD scholar.
So it's for new PhD scholars, they're not allowed to bring any
vehicles.
Okay.
Their vehicles won't be registered over here. We get a sticker for every vehicle we own. Yeah,
right. And like, do you know the reason behind those?
I don't know. The only thing I guess right now is that the administration thinks it's getting crowded in here.
Yeah.
We don't have parking zones. Vehicles are parked everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why the second point of that same agenda clause states that I'll discuss with the management about parking spaces for PhD scholars.
Okay.
Yeah, so both of them are interconnected in a way, and I hope I can.
So did you talk to anyone during groundwork or?
Yeah, so this was actually this part of the issue was actually it was discussed in the last tenure of the PhD representative, Purva Pai. She was and the management asked us to think of places where parkings could be made. And I actually, with my friends, I went around the campus, clicked pictures of places which could be turned into parking places.
Okay.
But nothing came out of it.
Right.
So I want to reignite that fire, if you want to say.
Okay. Okay. These parking spaces, right? So you'll have to make a parking space, or are you going to designate some place which already exists?
Oh, like how are they different?
Okay, so is it like, are you just, let's say in front of BDOM there is some parking, right?
Right.
Two-wheeler,
right.
So there's not really any construction. You could just designate right side also as a parking space.
Right.
Versus if there is some field which is say bumpy, then you would have to build something which is flat, right? So what will you be doing?
No, that would be a lot of work. But to begin with, I'll just need the management to start designating parking spaces. And once we are above that level, it would be better. Like there are some places, if you remember the lawn outside CH2,
okay,
where vehicles are already parked. That place is not being utilized for anything.
Yeah.
So maybe that can be leveled, maybe put a shed over it.
But like it's already being used.
It's already being used, but during the rainy season,
okay,
it becomes quite muddy and quite difficult to navigate vehicles inside there.
Okay.
So maybe something can be done. Maybe brainstorming. Yeah.
Okay. And because if you would have to build something, you would need funds and like you would need approvals. And so have you talked to anyone about?
Yeah. So building things right now is not on my priority list.
Yeah.
Just let the management agree to the fact that vehicles should be allowed in the first place.
Okay.
And then designate parking spaces. Building things can be done they can be done later on. It's a big thing.
But like they can't allow more cars than if there are no parking spaces.
That's true. But yeah, if you want PhD scholars, you have to think of such. You have to give them hostels. You have to give them parking spaces. Like these are the basics everyone needs.
Right. Okay then, we'll go to the next point. Right? Could you explain the benefits of paid period leave?
Paid period leave, yeah. So this is something, yeah, my female friends suggested me, and I believe it should be there. And there are health risks, and it's really a challenge for all my female friends and colleagues to show up to work when they are going through this phase of the month. And also the part of motivation was the Karnataka state government. Recently they declared paid period leaves like for the whole state.
Okay.
So if the government agrees that this is a necessity, it can also be implemented in BITS, I guess.
Yes.
Which is BITS is pretty advanced in their policy making.
Yes.
So I think they can hear it and maybe make our female colleagues more comfortable.
Right. So like, will you talk to someone in admin about this, or have you already brought it up and discussed feasibility?
No, never brought it up with anyone till now.
Okay.
So I'm willing to do it after I take up the position of a PhD scholar. If I take up the position of PhD, if everyone doesn't press nota.
Right. And then have you thought about like logistics and like number, frequency?
Yeah, once a month. That's what the Karnataka state government has also done. 12 days a year.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this leave should be easy to process.
Right.
Like it shouldn't be too hectic for the females to take this leave.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things which I have to brainstorm more upon.
Yeah. So I saw you mentioned privacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like currently when you take leaves, it's just on the SWD portal also, right? For
Right. So what happens with PhDs is at the end of the month we fill a form.
Okay.
Where we fill in the number of days we worked, the number of leaves we took, and then the salary, whatever, or the stipend we should receive.
Okay.
And so we have, our leaves are bifurcated in 4 different parts. One are casual leave, duty leave, special duty leaves, and maternity leave.
Okay.
So yeah, still thinking whether this should also just join in the casual leave, or a 5th separate section should be made with paid period leaves.
Okay.
One of these things could be done.
Okay. Right. I think that's fine. We'll go to improving married quarters availability.
Oh.
Right. So I'm not aware of more details.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So what do you mean by reissuance for PhD scholars?
So till a couple of years back, AH10 was married quarters. Like any PhD scholar who got married could ask for a room in AH10 and live there with his family.
Okay.
But currently it's not happening that way. Those rooms have been allocated to PhD scholars, but not the married ones. So like there are 3, 4 or maybe more PhD scholars allotted a single room. It's like a 1 BHK, and so they share it amongst themselves.
So they're sharing 1 BHK, 3-4 people.
That's correct. I think 3 is the number, but right now I am not so sure. But I believe that married quarters should be allotted to married people, because at this stage of the life, between 25 to 30 years of age, marriage is a necessity. Everyone needs a partner. But with stipend of 37,000 per month, or maybe 40 or 42,000 per month, it's really difficult to rent a room outside for very high prices.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll maybe try to.
So right now, like married PhDs are not being allocated rooms on campus at all?
Yeah, no, they are not, as far as I am aware.
Okay. And does like institute give them extra money?
No. So no, there's no HRA, as we call it, house rent allowance.
Right. They don't give HRA.
No.
Either. Okay. And like, have you talked to anyone? Why is this problem there currently? Why did they stop allocating rooms?
Yeah, it's because logistics. I mean, there are more. We need the institute needs more PhDs to work, but there are like the hostels are limited.
Yeah.
And we aren't building any new ones. So this problem is going to continue.
So how would this solve it? Like, will you go for building something or going for HRA?
Yeah, those two are the options. Where going to build something is very difficult to convince management to do, because it's
also going to take time to build something.
Right, and the call is also not directly from the management. It has to come from So maybe try to go for an HRA.
Okay, right. Okay then. And then, okay, you'll go for HRA, right? I think then we'll go to travel grant, right?
Travel grants.
What funds do scholars get in travel grants?
Yeah, so travel grants, I don't know if you're aware or not, but that's the funds that scholars get once during the tenure of the PhD to go abroad,
Okay.
to go to visit a conference, to present their work, present their poster, present their talks somewhere abroad. And the issue is we do get those, but it takes a lot of time, and sometimes people don't have a lot of time. You know,
Okay.
they need to finish their conference, they need to write a thesis, then to submit it, then they move ahead in their life.
Okay. So, does the grant cover everything? in the
No,
travel?
no. So, yeah, if I am correct,
Hmm?
we get 1.5 lakhs, which usually covers the travel
Hmm.
from
To and fro.
to and fro. That's it, yeah, and that gets exhausted. And
Okay. Yeah.
so, I am not currently saying that I would want the management to increase the fund,
Hmm.
but just have enough fund that whatever scholar applies for it gets it. Nobody have to wait for 6 months or a year,
Why do they have to wait for 6 months or a year?
because the funds get exhausted. There are not enough funds.
There is not enough funds.
Yeah, as per the number of scholars.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. And how will that be solved then?
divert more money to this fund.
Okay. Have you talked to anyone about like finances ki where there is this?
Yeah, not really, no.
Okay. Right. And does this allocation depend on departments or is it just central for all PhDs?
Yeah, as far as I know, right now it's central, but I may be wrong. I haven't probed this into too much details.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is it.
Right. And you're talking about this faster system. When I was reading your agenda, I thought you were saying that there should be a separate system for a faster approval, or are you saying that you will make the current system faster?
Yeah, the current system faster.
Yeah.
Like I said, the funds get exhausted. There's no
Yeah.
money in the fund, and the scholars have to wait for them. So yeah, maybe if you allocate more funds over there, more scholars can get it on time and finish their thing.
Okay. Right. Is the request for publishing a clear breakdown of budget you've talked to someone?
Yeah, I haven't talked about this to anyone right now. I'll do it
Okay.
after I take the position up.
Right. Because the thing is, like, none of the budgets are public.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
admin, that the admin has.
Mm,
Right. Very strong precedent.
correct.
Yes. Okay then. Okay. Is there anything else you would want to explain in your agenda?
If there's something else I would want to. Nah, my main concern is just the fragmented mindset of the community right now.
Okay.
If all of us can come together, it will become very easy for me or anyone else
Right.
to do things for this community. Otherwise, the problem with this is it has become a very vicious loop where the PhDs are frustrated by the management, and the management thinks that the PhDs don't do enough for the institute, like where they don't show up for events, they don't show up for talks.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I believe it has become a vicious cycle where both are just not understanding each other.
Yes.
So if somehow I can break that loop,
Okay.
that would be great.
Right. Okay then. I think that's it for the interview.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, man. Thank you.
Good luck.
It was good. Thank you, man.